Stop comparing yourself to others. That's the topic for today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Arfa here from Pure Matrimony. Now, I want to talk about this concept of constantly comparing yourself to other people, especially when it comes to finding a spouse. So very often you'll see, and I've never really heard brothers say this, but sisters will often say things like, oh, you know, so-and-so's married someone really amazing, and, you know, I wish I had what she had, and, you know, and they make judgment calls based on something that they don't even know, okay? And there's this constant sort of comparing, right? You know, this person's got more than I have, you know, this person is doing better than I am. Here's the thing. If you constantly compare yourself to other people, you will never be enough. That is just fact, right? But if you start concentrating on making yourself to be a better person and making yourself to be the best version of you, do you know what? Other people will look at you and will see you as somebody to compare themselves against, right? Now, I'm not saying in any way, shape or form, I'm not negating what you feel, right? Because sometimes it's true. When you do see somebody that has something that is better than what you have, there is this natural sort of inclination and tendency to compare. But this is pretty dangerous, right? Because it can lead to envy, and, you know, we seek refuge in that, and billah. And also, you know, it's about, you don't know what it is that you're wishing for, right? Why would you want something that you really don't have a clue? You don't know what that person has had to do in order to have that thing that they've got. You don't know what tests or what trials they've gone through. All people tend to see is the end result. That's all they see. Literally, that's all they see. They see that this person has got this one thing that they don't have, but they've failed to see the struggle and the hardship and the tests and the trials that led up to that person having that thing, right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised that after hardship comes ease. So where does this leave you, and what can you do about it? Number one, when you see someone who has something that you don't have but you want, the sunnah really is to make dua for that person, right? Ask Allah to increase them in that, and to increase them in afia meaning blessings, right? And this is an actual dua from the Prophet ﷺ as well, you know, Allahumma inni as'aluka afia, right? So you're asking Allah to increase you in blessings, and blessings mean blessings in everything, in your rizq, in your health, in your wealth, in everything, right? It's a really beautiful and complete dua. Just as a side note, it's like snowing here. I don't know if you can see through the window. It's very cold, -3. Anyway, going back to my point, I sort of digressed there because it is extremely cold. But going back to my point, make dua for that person. Ask Allah to increase them in the good. Because what happens is, first of all, the angels say Ameen. When you make a dua, the angels also say Ameen for you too. This is one of the reasons why you never, ever, ever make a bad dua against anybody, right? Because the angels could say Ameen to you too, okay? So that's the first thing. Second of all, be grateful for what you do have, okay? Focus on the things that you do have, and the things that are going for you, right? Rather than against you. Because if you do that, then inshallah you will always be content with what you have, okay? Third of all, recognize and understand that constantly comparing yourself to other people is actually a sign of ingratitude to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, right? Because what you're basically saying, you're indirectly saying that what Allah's given you isn't enough, and that's why you need to have whatever it is that you don't have. Now, it's natural, don't get me confused now, right? It's natural to want what you don't have. What's not natural is that you are constantly fixated, that's the word, right? You're constantly fixated on what other people have, right? Rather than the blessings that you have yourself, right? But really being thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for whatever it is that you have, that's going to really, really, really help you. But get into the habit of writing down every single day just a couple of things, even if it's just one thing that you write down every single day that you're grateful for, will help make you more aware of what you do have as opposed to what you don't have. And you know, and the last point is make sincere dua, right? Always be making dua. I'm telling you, what dua is the one thing that can actually change qadr, Okay, so if you are looking to get married and you've always wanted to get married, right, and you can't seem to find that special someone, make dua. Allah is the best of those who is able to answer dua, and he's the only one that can answer your dua actually, and answer your dua even better than what you asked for, right? So have good hope in Allah, right? Put your trust in him, put your faith in him, make dua for whatever it is that you want, but also recognize that you do have to take action. So if you want to have that amazing spouse, you yourself, A, have to be amazing, and B, you have to be actively looking and really searching and really putting yourself out there to try and find the one, right? And if you do want to find the one, sign up for Pure Matrimony. I'm giving away a free 7-day trial. Links are in the video description, inshallah. So anyway, I hope you found that helpful. I just feel that we're living in a culture that is so fixated on what you don't have, that, you know, people, you know, they really do forget the blessings that we do have, right? And subhanallah, look at this, you know, there's all these bombings going on in Syria at the moment, and the people of Ghouta, subhanallah, you know, honestly, you look at them and your heart bleeds. I mean, this are people who have got absolutely nothing, and they would do absolutely anything to be in your shoes. So, you know, one of the things, and this is actually the last point that I'm going to make, you know, the Prophet he said, always look at the person who has less than you, right? Because the one who has less than you and the one who's in a worse situation than you will remind you of the blessings that you've got. So it's not just focusing on the good that you've got, but also focusing on the people who don't have anything, who are below you, right? And that inshallah will increase the shukr and the thankfulness in your heart towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you know, a person who is grateful, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually says in the Quran, it's mentioned in the Quran that if you are grateful, I will increase you, and I will increase you in good, right? So ask for good, hope for good, make dua for good, right? But always be grateful, and don't ever look at what someone else has got. If somebody is good in their deen and you think, wow, they've got amazing deen, that's something else, that's something to aspire to, right? But actually wishing that you had something that you yourself don't have and being sort of discontent over what you've got, that's where the danger is. There's nothing wrong in wanting good things, right? Always have that hope in Allah, right? There's nothing wrong in wanting good things. Just don't begrudge anybody else who has something better than you. Be willing to work hard, be willing to do the things that are necessary in order for you to have that thing. And when you see someone who has that good, always be making dua for them. So anyway, I do hope you found that helpful, inshallah, and if you did, please do like and share this video, and yeah, let me know what else you want me to talk about. Take care. Until next time, jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.